And joining us by phone is Florida Congresswoman Ileana Ros-Lehtinen, the first Cuban-American member of the House of Representatives. Good morning to you. Thank you for joining us.
Well, good morning. Thank you so much. This was a day we've been waiting for a long time.
I want to talk to you specifically about the human rights crisis, Ileana. People can be locked up for speaking their minds. The government still controls most of the media. According to the latest State Department report, there are 60 to 70 political prisoners. So how should that factor into U.S. relations going forward?
Oh, it should factor in very heavily. And I know that there are Fidel apologists around the world who say, oh, he's an iconic figure and he was just an old man. But this is a man who, I was born in Cuba. I had to flee with my family when I was only 8 years old. And people were fleeing Cuba then in 1960, and they're fleeing Cuba now. Not because he's a charming, iconic figure, but because he was a ruthless dictator. And he's had an opportunity to now allow his brother Raul to slide into power. But the question of human rights under Fidel or Raul are just as bleak. They imprison people for speaking their minds. There's no free press. There's no show like your show in Cuba. Everything is state-sponsored newspapers, state-sponsored media, and human rights dissidents are rounded up and thrown in jail. The very peaceful group called Las Damas de Blanco, the ladies in white, they dress in white, and they march peacefully to the Catholic Church every Sunday, and with holding up a photo of their loved ones who have been or are in jail for political reasons. And for that, they're beaten up and thrown in jail, sometimes for 2 days, sometimes for 1 hour, sometimes for weeks and months at a time. Yeah, so human rights is still terrible.
It is terrible. You're painting such a stark picture, a bleak picture of exactly the reality of what's going on in Cuba to this day. And Ileana, I know this is a very personal story for you and for so many out there. We do want to thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much.